The Grimwade family actually showing real life despite social media feeding us all that real hype. We just some real guys trying to give some high definition to reality. Family acrobatically juggling life, smothered in cracks to avoid eternal casualty trust. It ain't easy, but teamwork make the dream work. It's me, Ella, Hesse, Hosanna, Harper, and Hallie. And I ain't forget that has a ranch and a family.
Jamaica.
Hey.
Oh yeah, Hallie says Jamaica. In a Jamaican accent. Jamaica. Ooh. Don't touch the bottom because that's dirty. Come on. Do it with all your strength. Where's the phone? It is
In the cupboard.
in your cupboard. Yeah. Oh yeah, you done it. You done it, Rana.
Done it.
Is it in properly? Yay.
I need to get some astral cream on my dry out skin legs because they're out today. What do you think? Legs are out, guys. Whoop, whoop. Mums who are pregnant will know why at this stage of pregnancy when the baby is pushing down, why dresses are better than tight trousers or leggings. If you know why, put it in the comment section below, Grimwade Gang. Yeah, we are rocking the dresses. I don't think leggings are really gonna work for me right now. Baby is, I think she's dropped. Like, I always try and tell from like how far my belly seams down from my boobs, and I feel like there's quite a bit of a gap here now. I feel like she's dropped. So usually at this point I ask people and they go, no, she's not dropped yet. You got to wait a bit longer still, Ella. And I'm trying to convince myself that yes, she definitely has dropped and she's coming soon. But yeah, so remember a couple of weeks ago we went to try and see at the hospital whether, sorry I just ran down the stairs while I'm trying to catch my breath, whether we'll be able to have a home birth. Now because of with Harper, the placenta getting stuck in after her coming out so quickly, and with Hazariah, his heart having to be monitored throughout the labour, I've got to have a consultation with the doctor to find out whether I can have a home birth. I'm thinking they're going to say yes. I'm quite positive about it. I think they're going to say yes. But we're going to go now. And obviously last time the doctor had been called away and it was going to be too much of a waiting time for us to wait until he came back from like an emergency cesarean. So I'm hoping and praying today that all just runs smoothly and we can go and have the appointment and find out. Because really and truly, if they don't let us have the appointment today, then we're probably just going to have to go with having the baby in hospital because I can't be asked for all these appointments really. It's pretty disruptive to the day. So yes, but I'm going to go and get on my trainers with my legs out. It's not that hot, so I'm probably going to be cold. But never mind, the baby will keep you warm.
Harper Bubbles, what have you got on your feet? What shoes have you got on your black?
Yeah, she's got a black one.
Oh, okay, Hallie, I'm going to go get a wipe for you. Moose is running. Good
Yes,
boy.
not.
Now, this thing doesn't want to move, does it? Oh, there we go. Right, keep them over your shoulders, yeah? Good boy. Yeah?
Daddy.
Daddy? Yeah, he's there. Here you go.
You alright, buddy?
Dad.
Yeah, what you got?
But
Got a book?
Dad.
Yeah.
Read.
Right, off we go. Gosh.
Off.
Off we go. I'm glad that my hernia, oh, don't go into the bushes, Ella. I'm glad that my hernia hasn't really, the last couple of weeks, caused me too many issues, I don't think. Unless like I've accidentally bumped it into something, but that's a good thing. But yeah, so I was thinking about home births, right guys, and some of my friends have had home births. So my friend from church, you wouldn't know her, she's had a home birth, and the way she did it was she didn't have a pool. She just got lots of like shower curtains, I think, for when she was actually obviously pushing the baby out for all the mess that it's created at that time. When you have a home birth, I think people were mainly like worried about how messy is it going to be and all that kind of stuff. I think if this was not the last baby, basically, we probably would have invested in getting a birthing pool, but seeing as it's going to be the last baby, I don't really think it's worth us forking out money to like hire or buy, because it's pretty much the same cost, a birthing pool. So I think my friend Elena from the Maisley channel, she had a home birth. She made it look very simple, very straightforward. The most recent one, I remember her standing up in her bedroom,
Yes.
and literally just having the baby, and she was, oh my gosh, bless her, she was so overdue. She was like, it's different in the States, because Elena and Joe live in the States. Check out their channel, Maisley. In the States, I think they let you go overdue by like 3 weeks maximum, 3-4 weeks, because I swear down she had the baby at like 34 weeks. Sorry, not 34.
44.
It was 44, 43 weeks, something like that. Which is just, for me, I'm just like, it's mad, because I'm 36 weeks now, and if I was to go to 43 weeks, that's so many more weeks that I intend to be pregnant. But here in the UK, they don't really let you go beyond 42 weeks, which I'm just very grateful for. Unless you specifically said, no, don't induce me, don't try and bring it on, let's just go with it and see when the baby comes. Because I know there is a lot of people that feel that if you like force the labour, then it's going to make the labour a bit more traumatic. But if you just let it happen naturally, then it's okay. But anyway, she made it look very simple and easy, and just stood up in her room and had the baby, and carried on with life as you do, you know. So, to be honest, someone was asking, one of my friends at football last night was asking me, are you ready for the baby? And I think by the time it's baby number 6, you're just like, they could come this afternoon.
We're always ready.
Yeah, they could come this afternoon. I could be in the car park at the shops or whatever, and I'd be like, oh, the baby's coming. Okay, let's get on with it. I think the things that you are actually looking for are like the fact that, okay, so you can't monitor the baby's heartbeat if you're not in hospital, but I think you would just be asking, can you still feel the baby moving? And you know, you'd look out for signs like if the water's broken. If they have, you know that with me especially, once my waters break, it's not going to be long until the baby's actually coming out. So you know, if the water's broken, then if you do start seeing the head, you know that once the lady's pushing, you want her to push it with the contractions and not push when she's not having a contraction, because then you're more likely to tear. So you'd have to be timing the contractions, and also just, this is the key, and the thing that Tim does not like me to fall down on in labour is the communication. So say it was the two of us, I would have to be letting him know, okay, babes, I'm having another contraction, but I think he could quite well tell when I'm having one now.
100%. I feel very confident on that.
Yeah. I thought you were saying you can feel them.
No, well, not quite. I feel for you, but I can't feel that.
So then when it's time to push, that's when you push. And then also, once the baby comes out, check cord's not around its neck, and then of course finding something to cut it with, which I guess would be the hardest thing while you're out and about, because you don't usually have a clamp to cut the cord. But yeah, so I'm just feeling relaxed about it, and we'll see what happens. We'll find out what the consultant says at the consultation. Probably can't take him with us, guys, but we'll let you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Excuse me, Mum. Why do you need like a clamp for cutting the umbilical cord? Can't you just use scissors?
With my knowledge so far, I think it's to do with the fact that if you was to just cut the cord, like the blood from the blood that's in the cord would just bleed out. So I think you have to clamp it first to stop the blood flow, like from the baby through the cord, and then you cut the cord on the other side of the clamp, like to detach it from mummy. And then that's where it's got its little, thing that dries out on the belly button and falls off. Yeah, that eventually naturally just falls off. So when people say, oh, whether you have an innie belly button or an outie belly button is down to how they cut your cord, that's not true, because your belly button is how it's going to be, and then the rest of the cord falls off. Anyway, it's not like, oh, I've got a big belly button because they cut the cord.
Because they were rubbish at cutting the cord.
Yeah, so anyway, we better get going.
Okay.
And we'll go to the walkway, which I think is over there.
Okay, thanks for answering the question.
Okay. I think being in the hospital environment reminds me of why I don't want to have a baby in the hospital. It's just It's just not as nice as home, is it?
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
talking quietly because I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah, I heard that.
But of course, if you need to, sweetheart, 2 seconds. If you need to be in the hospital for medical reasons, then it's the best place to be. I have no worries. I have no worries that that anything's going to go wrong. So, but I'm filling out a form that I need to basically discuss what my experience of the midwifery team along with pregnancy has been. So I'm
It's
going
been
to-
fine from my point of view. Huh?
Yeah, I think my only low point was when I was told that that one of the
About
twins
twins.
had disappeared. It was a little bit, insensitive. Apart from that, it's been absolutely wonderful. So yes, sweetheart, I better deal with Ruth because he's asking for my attention so politely. Excuse me, mummy. Yes, babe. This is what it's like to wait. To just sit and wait. It's not that fun, is it? Never mind. Mummy's got to fill this in.
Give me your hand. Okay, so what's good, Grimwade Gang?
Sorry, you can just
first
bang my
time,
arm on
sorry
the
about that.
Bang
Sorry.
my arm on the gear stick.
I know you're tough.
That's all right.
Yeah, that was harder than I thought it was going to be.
Harder?
Yeah,
Why?
because I didn't like it. They talked about, you know what I'm like. I do not like any conversation in the world about.
Me dying.
Don't.
And this is what he's got to work with.
I don't. Exactly. Someone who teases me about it. I don't find it funny. I don't. I know the doctors are just doing their job. They're just saying what they believe to be true. But I can't lose you.
Should we explain what they were saying?
Yeah, probably so.
Okay, so basically, my thing...
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1, go.
Explain.
Thanks, Roo. My thing has always been that we literally live a stone's throw from the hospital. Like, you can drive here in 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. It's not
it's
long.
definitely 5.
And
It's not
especially
long.
if it was in the middle of the night, you're going to get here quick. Do you know what I mean? No traffic, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, do you know what? Home birth, cool. If anything went wrong, we're only like 5 minutes around the corner from the hospital. As I've discussed it with some of our friends, there's a couple that have said, are you sure? Like, what if something went wrong? And I'm like, we're only around the corner. It doesn't take long to get there.
And I must admit, the Grimwade family are definitely that family who opt on the bright side of life with everything.
Very
like
positive,
we always think things is gonna be cool.
It's going to be fine.
And
Don't worry about it.
in life,
Be cool.
most often, things are okay.
Yeah,
Things are okay,
definitely.
but this is life we're talking about. This is not like an investment with money. This is not, something material. This is life. And
Roo, 2 seconds,
I
because-
know, for sure that I couldn't do without Ella.
Sorry, babe, I was
So,
going to say,
go on.
Roo,
No,
2
go for
seconds,
it.
because none of your brothers or sisters have heard the conversation with the doctor, so you've got to listen,
Yeah, so they're probably trying to hear.
And you're there talking loud.
Loud talking, taking the stage as per usual. Loud talking. So
yes,
yeah.
so carry
No.
on,
I
sorry.
was just saying, like, I can't lose Ella. That's not that doesn't work in my mind at all. So so much to the point that I don't like talking about like when we're older and like who dies first. I don't like any of that. I don't talk about it. And you know what's the funniest thing? I could talk about nearly anything in the world and do it very matter of factually, and I don't mind. You can say I'll never get offended, but
Hurt really easily.
I don't get hurt very easily, says the voice behind Ella, who was Hezzy.
Hezzy, yeah.
But no, I don't, because I don't usually feel there's much to, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. My opinion is my opinion. It is what it is. But, ultimately we're out here trying to please God, not man. So I'm not always very worried about what man says. But I'm not saying you can't take advice from anyone, not saying that at all. But, this union has created all these guys in the background, which, we're so proud of, despite, parenting being hard at times and
but they're the most
whatnot.
important things in life to us, aren't
Yeah,
they?
but
Growing each other and
The Grimwade family has come out of this union, do you know what I mean? And it's special, and I don't want anything to jeopardise that. But yes, we still haven't really said what he said. So, Grimwade Gang, we love you because you stick with us.
Yes. So basically,
Over to you.
The consultant, he was a lovely consultant.
He was.
I think
Yeah,
I
he
thoroughly
was.
enjoyed the conversation with him. I didn't feel rushed or anything.
Nope.
And we was able to ask anything that we needed to ask, and he explained things well and re-explained things well.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, what he said is because of my history of labours.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think you Grimwade Gang know that I've not really had any complicated births or labours, except for the fact that with Harper, I had what he called, the technical name I think was
Perceptive labour.
perceptive labour.
Which just means quick.
Quick labour, basically. And then with the number of children that we've had, so this being number 6,
Mm-hmm.
your cervix can be prone to tearing if you...
Yeah,
probably
it
confusing
was.
myself.
He said basically, if you can imagine a door.
Yeah.
You can imagine a door. If you whack it open, like, I think how he actually wanted to describe it was you could damage, like, the hinges and
Yeah.
stuff where it's attached. But if you open a door, you know,
Yeah,
bit by bit,
controlled,
nice
then-
and controlled, then obviously there's less, you know, chance of anything kind of breaking or
That's
anything.
why in labour generally
Yeah.
you're supposed to have gradual contractions. That's
Yes.
they're supposed to. No one can tell how it's going to go.
No,
but
no.
You have contractions.
Ideally,
Oh,
you
yeah,
would have-
ideally.
yeah.
Gradually, and the cervix just opens and opens and opens until it's open enough for the baby to come out, with a lot of pushing.
Yeah.
But with Harper, obviously what happened, fortunately, thank the Lord, I didn't tear, but because my cervix opened quickly,
Yes.
it meant that all the hormones that are supposed to work over time
Also,
didn't come.
Oh, they didn't come.
quick
Yes,
enough.
sorry, that's right.
But basically, what you need is the hormones to all kind of, it all needs to work together simultaneously.
Teamwork
makes the dream work. There you go. So he was saying because that's happened with me once before, and also my cervix has been opened and closed several times with children. It's more likely that it could happen again. And then when that happens, like Tim says, with the door opening quickly, things can get damaged.
Yeah.
If you tear, there's risks of bleeding or other things.
And
he
that's
was-
where the real problem comes. It's the bleeding.
Yes.
He was talking about having 5 pints of
Of blood,
blood
5 litres.
5 litres, sorry,
For
5
example.
litres of blood
If
in
you
your
s-
body.
Yeah,
And you
if
wanna
you were to
go?
lose a litre of your blood over
Over
2
time,
hours,
yeah.
it's not so much a problem. But if you lose like a litre of blood in 5 minutes because your body can't replenish at that speed, that's a problem. And he said every minute counts. So when he said
if that
was
happens.
if that was to happen,
And I can't risk it.
and when he said that, you know, every minute is important. So I'm like, okay, so if I'm only 5 minutes around the corner,
Yeah.
that's a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I know with Harper's labour, I was in what's called the birthing suite. I don't know if you have this where you are, but in our hospitals, you have the labour ward, which is very hospital-like, and there's doctors there and whatnot, and they will intervene in things. But on the birthing suite, it's literally just a midwife, so it's very much like being at home because they kind of put sofas in the room
Yeah.
and it's more homey.
Yeah.
And basically with Harper, I was rushed. After my placenta wasn't coming out after about half an hour, I was rushed literally so fast from the birthing suite to the hospital, like to the labour ward, because they're only a corridor apart.
Yeah.
Because I was then at risk of extra problems. And what he's saying is, of course, if there was any complications being on the birthing suite, I would recommend you being on the birthing suite because then you're just a few seconds away from the labour ward.
Yeah.
And, you know, he very respectfully said, of course, it's my job to give the risk factors and try and
Try and, like, what's the word? Like,
minimise
minimalise. There you go.
risk. And he said, I know it's my job to deal with risks that
Yeah.
happen, but prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
Which I
is-
totally respect and
absolutely true.
understand. And I did explain to him that another reason for us wanting to have a home birth is because, of course, Hosanna, Hallie, Harper, I think is it more so Hosanna? Hezzy's obviously vocalised that he doesn't want to be there when I'm pushing the baby
I
out.
should have seen him
which is fine.
previously.
But I know Hosanna,
But Hosanna, do you want to be there, don't you?
Yeah.
when I'm actually giving birth, which I understand.
And Daddy wants to be there.
Yeah,
too,
Daddy's
so-
been at all the
Oh,
labours,
100%. I'm going to be there.
yeah. But even on
Don't you
the
worry about that.
birthing suite, I think you were still only allowed 2 birthing partners maximum. And that would be the problem because, of course, we have
Loads.
5 children, but at least 3 that may possibly want to be there, and then that make 4, including Daddy, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's one place that's automatically taken with Daddy.
And then even just on a practical scale, like, we want to show you guys. We want you to live it with us.
And at home, you're...
obviously you're at home. You
got the
can't. What can
freedom
you
to
tell
do
me
what
in
you
my
want,
house?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But when you're at someone else's place, obviously you have to abide by their rules. And I know I've done it, but I'd just be honest with you, and I'm sure vloggers the world over, if they're being honest as well, they frown upon it.
It depends which midwife. you
It
get,
does,
do you know
but
what I mean?
my experience so far, and obviously you can only speak for your experiences, people don't generally like being on camera, especially in a real situation, because they're worried, and I get it, they're worried about what you might put out and how it might make them look.
In their
but,
profession, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
but I always highly respect any professional, and also I would always shoot in a way that it's not about them, do you know what I mean? Like, it's our experience, but I understand they're part of it, so I do totally get that.
And I know that with Hazariah's birth, we had a very understanding person.
Oh, yeah, 100.
Who squeezed a few things for us, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which I was very grateful for.
Oh, she was
But
amazing.
yeah, like, of course, she made sure she stuck to her rules and whatnot. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I think I probably had a few too many birthing partners. But I had my loved ones around me that I wanted to have there.
Yeah,
But you just can never guarantee who's going to be on duty or that day. So, but then I know at the same time we have to make a decision that is wise.
At the end of the day, the first thing is going to be Ella and the baby. Do you know what I mean? Those two people are the first people in this decision, like their safety, their well-being. So we will make some kind of decision strongly based around that,
And the doctor said
and everything else will be after.
The doctor said it's not really the labour, it's the delivery. So he's like, all the
yeah.
contractions and stuff that are going on, that's not the problem. You know, it's just as the baby comes out, what happens at that point is where all the risk is involved, which he said no one can tell basically the future. So
Which is true.
You
Apart
just
from
don't know
God.
what's going to happen apart from God.
Yes.
That's right. So I mean,
So that's where we're going to leave you, on a knife edge, on a cliffhanger, as they say, because we don't know. So please, in the comments, hit us up. Let us know what your thoughts,
experiences as well.
your experiences, absolutely.
If there's anybody that's out there that's had lots of children and has chosen to have their last one maybe at home against doctor's advice or with
Just
the
let us
doctor's
know.
blessing,
It's a
whatever it may be.
conversation, man. It's a community. It's Grimwade Gang world. Like, we want you guys to all, go back and forth in a loving manner.
Yes.
So yeah, man. But we're gonna cut out because we need to go and have some food.
Yeah.
But thank you once again for being with us. We love you,
Love you, Grimwade
and
Gang.
we'll see you on the next one.
Yes.
God
Much
bless.
love, guys.
Bye, bye, bye.
So you think you were right? Bring it on, prove me